you dare to dream really do come true. Someday I'll wish upon a star and wake up where the clouds are far behind me, where troubles melt like lemon drops away above the chimney tops. That's where you'll find me.
Just yesterday morning, they let me know you were gone. Suzanne, the plans they made put an end to you. I walked out this morning and I wrote down this song. I just can't remember who to send it to. I've seen fire and I've seen rain. I've seen sunny days that I thought would never end. I've seen lonely times when I could not find a friend. But I always thought that I'd see you again. Won't you look down upon me, Jesus? You gotta help me make a stand. You just got to see me through another day. My body's aching and my time is at hand. I won't make it any other way. Whoa, I've seen fire and I've seen rain. Seen sunny days.
Welcome, everyone. Thanks for being here. And I know Sue's family's super grateful that you're all here, so it's a special moment. Hi there. And you got blinky shoes, too. That's awesome. I like to read, and a concept I just bumped into actually earlier this week is this idea of a bright sadness. That's what this is. I'm even moved, and you've already made me feel like you're, a little bit part of your family already. So I did get to spend a number of hours with Sue and Gary. So, but the bright sadness, this idea of just there's hope and there's memories and there's beauty and there's goodness, even when there's a lot of loss. So it's just so special that you're here to experience all of that. With everyone together. So let me pray. My name's Dave. Let me pray, and then we'll begin. Okay? Father, we thank you that you are close to the brokenhearted. In fact, I think of Jesus' literally his inaugural address when he first proclaimed, finally, why he was here with us. And he said, I've come to give you good news. The year of God's favor. I will heal the brokenhearted and set captives free. So we thank you that you are so close to those who are brokenhearted, and we hang on to that. And I ask that you would, in real time, real space, move now and let people experience that closeness. Not just today, but in the coming days. Amen. Is Audrey, and you going to bring Beckett or no? Up to him, or he can.
Do you want to talk first, and then I can do it? You want me to go first? I want you to go first.
No.
Okay. I want to start by thanking everyone for being here today to celebrate the life of my grandma. To know her was to love her. I'm convinced she was one of God's angels here on earth, wearing many hats. She was the best mom, Grammy, Graham Cracker, Mimi, Aunt Sue, Madre, where's Matt? The proudest older sister and friend. Many of you know that she was a big fan of The Wizard of Oz. And as I was looking for a quote to share, I found that there were many to choose from. One of them said, "And remember, my sentimental friend, that a heart is not judged by how much you love, but by how much you are loved by others." And I think as we look around here today, it's clear that she was loved beyond measure. I have too many memories and special moments with my grandma to pick a favorite, and I could stand up here all day talking about how wonderful she was. All of the time I spent with her at her house, usually baking together. It was one of my favorite things. Back when she worked at Northland, there were a few years I worked at a salon that was right next door. Grandma would spend any break, long or short, with me there, bringing me a donut or any other treat she wanted to share with me that day. She was so proud of her family. I swear her customers knew more about all of us than I did. I learned something new when I talked to them. The excitement in her face when she saw any of her loved ones walk in the door, either at the bank, the store, or at her house, will always be one of my favorite things to remember about her. That or her silly laugh that she couldn't stop when she really got going. My grandma had the biggest heart and would have done anything for anyone, and I would have done the same for her. I even went as far as almost fighting a grown man in McDonald's parking lot one time just for being rude to her. I think I almost gave her and my mom an aneurysm that day. But I would do it again if it meant protecting her kind heart. She was one of my biggest and loudest cheerleaders in life, and I know she was for many of you also. I can only pray she knew how many lives she touched, how many people appreciated her warm smile, and how truly loved she was. There's a poem that talks about grandmothers, and I think it describes her perfectly. Grandmothers are such a precious gift. Soft, wrinkled hands which have known greatest joy and deepest sorrow. Expert mothers, kissers of boo-boos, secret keepers, and picnic basket packers. You'll always be her baby. Hold your grandmothers tight and tell them you love them. Because one day, you'll wake up to the first day of your life without them. But you know if she could, she would have stayed to walk through life with you. Because you'll always be her baby. My grandma taught me many things in life except for how to live without her. In The Wizard of Oz, Dorothy tells the Scarecrow, "I think I'll miss you most of all." And I deeply relate to that. This is the second time in the span of 6 weeks that we've gathered here. And this time she's not here. My grandma loved my grandpa so much, she quite literally couldn't live without him. How blessed they were to have shared a love that big. While I'm grieving the loss of two of my favorite people, I can't help but be happy to know that they're together again. There's no place like home, and he was hers. She clicked her heels 3 times, and I wish I was there to see her smile. Both of their smiles. I think it's important to remember that grief is just love. It's the price we pay for how much we love someone, and I've got quite the high bill. So for now, I will cherish every moment we spent together, every phone call, every time I heard, "Hi, my boo," until we meet again, somewhere over the rainbow. Do you want to see it? You want me to read it for you? Oh, okay. Beckett, it says, she would always say, "You're my favorite, you know that, right?" And would always pick me up when I'm down, would always have the nicest things to say, go to all my sport events that she could make, and I will miss her a lot. And he was very much, unapologetically, her favorite person in the world. We all got told. No shame.
Wow, thank you. It's really good. And I can confirm the favorite thing, because I saw the baseball picture every time I visited. That came out, which was awesome. With your cool shades, right? Yeah, that's so good. I think we were gonna play "Over the Rainbow" for everyone. Was that? We just thought it'd be really appropriate. It's a beautiful song, and just take a few moments and enjoy this.
I heard of once in a lullaby. Somewhere over the rainbow, skies are blue, and the dreams that you dare to dream really do come true. Someday I'll wish upon a star and wake up where the clouds are far behind me, where troubles melt like lemon drops away above the chimney tops. That's where you'll find me. Somewhere over the rainbow, bluebirds fly over the rainbow. Why then, oh why since you arrived. So tell me, what do you do up in heaven? All your days filled with love and light. Is there music? Is there art and invention? Tell me, are you happy? Are you more alive? 'Cause here on earth it feels like everything good is missing since you left. And here on earth everything's different. There's an emptiness. Oh, I hope you're dancing in the sky, and I hope you're singing in the angel's choir, and I hope the angels know what they have out there so nice up in heaven since you arrived. I hope you're dancing
send home. The east is not home. If the wind is right, you can sail away.
I just got to say, it's a beautiful family. I mean, literally beautiful people in your family. So they made some beautiful kids who made beautiful kids. Mike, would you come up?
For those of you that don't know me, I'm Sue's youngest brother, Mike. She was a little over 12 years older than I am. And I talked to our sisters, Connie and Teresa, who could not be here today, and they send their love to all of you and wish they could have been here, but they're definitely here in spirit. I don't think in any one of those pictures she wasn't smiling, because that was Sue. For me as a child, she was always my Susie. And when Timmy and Amy were young, she would kidnap me to babysit, and sometimes you didn't go home for a couple of weeks over the summer. But it was always fun, and she just loved it when someone would come to the door with a delivery, and they would say, "Is your mom home?" And I'd go, "Sue!" And she just thought it was so cute that they all thought I was her son. And about 5 years ago, I said, "Sue, do you still think it's cute when I tell people that you're my mom?" And she said, "Oh, God, no." But our sister Susie has gone away. She has decided to move on. After Gary passed away, her desire for life was gone. Sue and Gary were two lonely hearts who found each other and became one. They didn't need to live a fancy or a high-end life. If they were together as man and wife, that's all they needed. And they were very happy. Their riches were in each other and in their family. We are happy that they found each other and had so many wonderful years together. It's not surprising that they quickly followed each other when their lives on this earth were done. Sue would never let Gary get very far away. And when she made her mind up about something, that's why she followed him so quickly. I'm not going to be here. She had told me years ago, if Gary dies first, I'm not staying. I'm not going to stick around. And she was a person of her word her whole life to the very end. After so many years together on earth, they are together again, and what comes next? She probably just asked Gary to do something for her. Poor Gary's like, 6 weeks is the only vacation I get? Come on. But she has left us with a lovely legacy, with the family she has left behind, as you can all see. And yes, Beckett, she did love you best. She would tell me every time I talked to her on the phone. But she loved all of you. I mean, that doesn't mean she left anyone, but Beckett was always the first one she talked about. The family she created has grown and flourished from the nourishment of her loving heart she shared with them and with all of us. Sweet Sister Sue, when I think of you, your beautiful smile comes shining through. And what a wonderful gift you have left for me and all of us, because when I think of you, that smile is what I'll see.
Pam, there you are.
I don't even know where to start about Sue. She's my best buddy. She's my friend. If you ever want to know what a family's like, meet them all, because they adopt you and we adopt them. We made cookies together forever. She did the eggs. I did everything else. We had eggs. We had eggshells. Sometimes Gary would eat a cookie and say, and we'd say, we don't charge for that. But he ate it, and he loved it, and his favorite was pumpkin pie. He loved his pumpkin pie. And Sue loved her chocolate. We could hide it, she'd find it. No matter what, she knew it's like she could sniff it out. But Gary and Matt went for a vacation, and I had the pleasure of spending 3 days with her. It was so awesome. She usually goes to bed at 8, but one night we went to bed at 6:45. We're laying in bed, and she'd go, "Is it time to get up yet?" I'd say, "No." So we'd watch TV. She'd say, "Can we have a snack?" I said, "Yep." So here we are eating in bed, and she started laughing. She said, "We never ate in bed when we were kids." I said, "Well, we didn't either, so we're going to really enjoy this." But no, family was her life. If she had anything, I could tell you about every one of her kids, every one of the grandkids. We never missed a ball game. We always took snacks. She could teach you what true friendship is. She was just so awesome and loving and soft-spoken. And like they said, gatherings. We'd gather at Mark's. And when it was nice, we'd gather in the garage and have cookouts. And food, you never had to worry about food because everybody can cook and do everything. That's what it was. You knew what a real family is. They taught you. It was just like, this is how life is supposed to be. And if you ever got to go to anything, you would know. You would know. They didn't care. They'd hug you. They'd kiss you. They didn't care what the public said. And you know what? I don't either. That's how it's supposed to be. That's what life, and they would have taught you that because they're so awesome. And I got this here poem I want to read because it reminds me not only of the family, but it's Sue and Gary's life. And that's what they'll teach you. I hope I can get through this. If you could see me now, you wouldn't shed a tear. Though you may not understand why I'm no longer here. Remember my spirit, that's the real me. I'm still very much alive. Oh, if you could only see. I beheld our Father's face. I've touched my Savior's hand. That all angels rejoice as I enter the promised land. Beyond the gate of pearls and the walk on golden streets, I've touched the walls of jasper and dipped my feet in crystal sea. The beauty is beyond my words, nothing can compare. I've even seen your mansion. Someday I will meet you there. All Jesus to be your guide. His words will show you the way. So please don't cry. We'll meet someday. And I want to thank the family for how they are and everything they've done for our families and how blessed we are. Thank you.
Thank you. Those are really, really good. So my name's Dave. I'm a chaplain. I work for a pretty neat organization called Hospice of Michigan. So just by the nature of my work, I'm in this space a lot. And it really is a sacred place. It really is. A French philosopher by the name of Simone Weil said these words. She said, there's only two things that pierce the human heart. Beauty is the first, and affliction is the second. And both are here, right? I imagine your hearts are pierced because there's an affliction to loss. And as you said beautifully, Audrey, there's the correspondence of the amount of grief with the amount of love, right? We don't grieve what we don't love or the loss of what we don't love. And so both are present. And the stories, gosh, how warm you were even to me to come here. It's just a really neat space, really. And I appreciate that. It's neat that Sue enjoys this fairy tale, The Wizard of Oz. Chesterton, some of you might know that name, he said, what if the fairy tales are true? And so he developed this idea of true myth. deliberate play on words. How can a myth be true? Well, they can be. What if there's a reality that's beyond us, and the only way we can try to express it is through something that's mythical? So on that level, they really are true. And when Jesus was saying, well, the kingdom of God, it's like bread, or it's like this little seed, or, it's like a woman who lost a coin. Well, yeah, it is, but it's not, right? Because he had to use parables and myth to describe something that we just can't get to right now. Okay? But Sue has, and Gary has. And it's appropriate to think that way. One of the clearest and most beautiful pictures of Jesus in a prophetic way would be Isaiah 53. And in that beautiful picture, I encourage you to read it. It says that he was a man who was full of sorrow and familiar with pain. And then he went to bear our sorrows. And so I'm encouraging you to say, Jesus weeps with you and he hurts with you. I mean, literally, he does. That's his heart. He understands loss. One of his closest friends, Lazarus, was also part of a small family, 2 sisters and a brother. And they lived in a little town named Bethany. And it was just outside of Jerusalem, and it was the favorite place that Jesus hung out with. He was really close to them. There's a lot of evidence to say that he spent a lot of time there. And he was like adopted into their family. They were so close. And he got word, he was several miles away, that Lazarus was really sick. And Jesus, at this point, knew something was up. We don't always know what Jesus is thinking, but in this point, he actually says, I realize that he's falling asleep, but I'll wake him when I get there. And the disciples take it literally, and they say, oh, well, if he's just asleep, then, he'll get over his sickness. And it says he then used plain language. No, Lazarus has died, but I will raise him again, and I'll do it for a reason. He didn't raise everybody from the dead, right? And again, I don't even know what your beliefs are about the scriptures. That's okay. I happen to think there's a lot of reasons that they're true. Anyways, he goes to a family that he's really close with. And first Martha meets him outside of this little village. She says, oh, Jesus, if you would have been here. And then Mary, the younger sister, comes just a few minutes later, and the same thing. Oh, Jesus, if you had only been here, Lazarus wouldn't have died. And there's this idea of just hang on for a minute, folks. Jesus is up to something. And I bring this up because he knows what's going to happen in this instance. He has the sense, in a sense, a prophetic word, and he knows what God the Creator is going to do. To teach a very clear lesson, he even says that, so that you understand and believe what God will ultimately do. Okay. He stands in front of the tomb of a dear friend who has died. And this is the part, that's the whole context for what I want to say. And he wept. Why would he weep if he knew within 1 or 2 minutes Lazarus would be alive again? Why would Jesus weep? Because he understands loss. That was a really good friend. He knows what the sisters are experiencing. He was right there in the midst of it. And then there's one detail that, even if you're familiar with the scriptures, we kind of miss. In the very next chapter, it says, so now Jesus was having dinner, a dinner that was held in his honor, and Lazarus was there, reclining with Jesus at the table. Now, I don't know if you see how important that is. That is so ordinary. Lazarus did not go on the circuit going, hey, I'm the guy that was dead, and then Jesus raised me from... No, he is with his best and closest friends, like family, enjoying Lazarus. Now, Lazarus died again, right? We all do. He was resurrected to love and family and gatherings and the richness of life. And Jesus loved it. He really enjoyed it. He wasn't a woo-woo-y, ghosty figure. He entered in. Very much so. I'll give you one more quote. Dallas Willard, perhaps this century's most profound and influential Christian philosopher out of, it was either UCLA or one of the UC campuses, just died recently. And before he died, someone said, Dallas, if you had to use one word to describe Jesus, what would you use? I can tell you, you can ask 10 million evangelicals this question. None of them are going to come up with this word. And of course, there's many words to use. You know what he said? Relaxed. Here's a man who had spent his entire life understanding the Scriptures. Jesus is with you, is my point. He just is. And the fairy tale suggests that something very bright and beautiful will happen. His best friend, disciple, John said, "Oh, how great is the love that the Father has lavished on us, that we are now called sons and daughters. We know not what we'll be." Do you hear the fairy tale? Hear that sense? We know not what we'll be, little ones. But we know we'll be like him because we'll see him as he is. It's a fairy tale, but it's a true myth. That's what John believed. And at the end, he got the great vision that we call the book of Revelation, which is a strange text. But toward the end, he sees Jesus, a picture of the future. And Jesus says to John, again, one of his closest friends, "John, look around. I've made all things new again." That's the great hope. That's the end of the fairy tale. That's where we're heading. That's my greatest hope. Restoration. And I hope that you look into that if you will. Maybe you believe and haven't thought about it for a long time. We all have those questions. There's hope. There's hope. And there's loss and grief. I'm going to end us now. I'm just going to pray for us, and then I'm sorry, Bruce? No. Yes, Bruce is going to come up and finish where we are. Father, I thank you for the warmth in this room. I've been many places that did not have that kind of warmth, that kind of vibe, if you will. And this is a good family who's suffering a dear loss. I love the love that Gary and Sue had. I love when I would walk in, she'd look at me and say, "I know you." And she'd just light up. And I love that Gary used to love to talk about fishing and hunting and fish fries. And I even love when you talk about a good smelt fry, Sue would wrinkle up her nose and say, "Not me." Those are alive moments. Those are the things we will treasure. In fact, Jesus made fish for his best friends on the beach after he had resurrected. How more normal and beautiful can that be, having breakfast together? I pray that the family and friends here would remember Sue and Gary as they eat, as they gather, as they laugh, as they celebrate, and they raise a glass to all that has been and to all that is still coming. In your name, amen. I'm sorry, yes.
Hello, everyone. Sue sent me up here, trying to make some of you folks smile or laugh. So just to help me, everyone here today is in their underwear right now. Everybody. Except for Tim. He can keep his on. Oh, okay. In a moment here, okay, here's a picture, probably the last picture I took of Sue. It happened to have been on a night where my wife, Amy, had a fundraiser to go to, and all summer long, I mean, any number of people would be sitting on the front porch with Sue. It'd be one big celebration every night at our house, in one shape or form. And this particular night, like I said, Amy had a fundraiser, and so I made sure Sue had her water, because she went from at first being at our house to like, when can I go to bed? When am I going home? When am I going to see Gary? To this particular time, when are we going outside on the front porch? So that was really quite an improvement there, you know. So anyways, this particular night, and all summer long, you know, it's been kind of a thing. Sue wants, let me tell you the story. Okay, here's what happened. Here's exactly what happened. Picture the scene. Sunny, 80 degrees outside. I'm sitting right over here, as you can see. And I had her permission to take this picture after what had happened. It wasn't that big of a deal, but it was still kind of a moment for me and Sue. So she said, of course. And I said, I got to tell the story too, right? Yeah, you're welcome to. I said, all right, thank you, Sue. So I come out, and I had a seat, and Sue's sitting there, as you can see, with her water and everything, and I happened to be partaking in a little Mother Nature, sitting here next to Sue, and the wind was blowing, like, and she's like, trying to catch the smoke. I said, Sue, there's an easier way, you know? So she said, well, you know the rules. Amy does not allow this. And she says, Amy's not here tonight. See, that's a good point. It's a good point, Sue. So, and she's wanted to be in the club for a while, and she says to me, she goes, you know, there was a time, I did that one time. I did it. Okay, so did you like it? It was okay? Oh, yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't mind trying that again. All right. Hey, all right, Sue, got to make you promise now. Number one, we got two rules here. Two things you got to know. Number one, don't tell Amy. You got to keep a secret. I know you're an angel and all. You got to tell the truth all the time. But, okay. She said, okay, I can do that. And I said, the second thing is, there's a word. She says, what's that? And I goes, ear. She took it from me. I said, so just treat it like a cigarette. I know you smoked for a while, had cigarettes or whatever. And so she hit that. And I was like this, she said, and like, ooh, you know, I was just like, oh my gosh, you know, I hope she's going to be okay. And then she just starts coughing, you guys. Oh my gosh. She was coughing and coughing. And I stood up, and I'm like, Sue, you okay? You know, I said, paranoia started setting in with me, you know, a little bit. I just want to make sure she's okay, you know. I mean, I'm responsible for this woman while my wife's away, and she just kept coughing and coughing. I said, about 25, 30 seconds, and I think a little bit even come out of her ear. It's a little bit. And she's like, you all right? She goes, oh, yeah, I'm all right. I said, take a drink. Take a drink, Sue. So she reached down, she grabbed the water, and she drank the whole water. She goes, my mouth is very dry. So we sat there, you know, and for about 5 minutes. And I figure, you know, it doesn't take very long. And this is good stuff, too, okay? This ain't like she was smoking back in the 60s or whenever the heck it was. I never asked her, but this is pretty good stuff. In 5 minutes, you can see, you could blindfold this woman with dental floss right here. She was feeling really good. I mean, every bird and bumblebee that flew by, I mean, she was like on it, you know. I said, you doing okay, Sue? She goes, I'm fine. She said, I'm fine. I sat there for another 5 minutes, and this is when I knew she had enough. She says to me, out of nowhere, I'd really like to try that weed sometime. And that was our moment. That was me and Sue's one of our she's always laughing too, laughing. She thought it was funny. I love that woman. All right. And just like I did for Gary, I put together some lyrics from songs. This is the tough part for me, so nobody please make eye contact with me. Look at the screen. I'm gonna read these words to, we especially when we were by ourselves. I listened to Elvis Wither, the Eagles, all the good '70s stuff. We'd always be sitting out there, And I picked a few songs that I thought was very appropriate with Sue in our relationship. Hi there, how are ya? It's been a long time. Seems like we've come a long way. My, but we learn so slow. And heroes, they come and they go. And leave us behind as if we're supposed to know. Why? Why do we give up our hearts to the past? And why must we grow up so fast? As the sun hides its head to another night's rest, and the wind sings its same old song, and you on the edge, never close, never far, always there when I needed a friend. But it's hard living life on this merry-go-round, always up, always down, spinning round, round, and round. And all this could be just a dream, so it seems. I was never much good at goodbye. My old friend, I recall the times we had hanging on my wall. I wouldn't trade them for gold, 'cause they laugh and they cry me, somehow sanctify me. They're woven in the stories that I've told. Until again, my old friend, I apologize for the years that have passed since the last time you and I dusted off those memories. But the running and the races, the people and the places, there's always somewhere else I had to be. Time gets thin, my old friend. Don't know why. And I like to finish. My old friend, the song's for you, 'cause a few simple verses was the least that I could do. To tell the world that you were here. Because the love and the laughter we live on long after, all the sadness and the tears. We'll meet again, my old friend. Goodbye. Jesus said to her, I am the resurrection and the life. Those who believe in me, even though they die, will live. And everyone who has, and everyone who loves and believes in me will never die. Is there anyone else that would like to share a story? I goofed the last part of the outline, so sure. Bring you up. Thanks. I'll say something.
So for those of you who don't know me, I'm Eli. I'm a relatively new addition to the family, recently brought in by Amy and Mark's daughter, Ashley. If you want to embarrass her, she's sitting right up here, second row. So unfortunately, I didn't get to know Sue as long or as well as most of you. But I feel I've really gotten to know her in the short time I've been with the family through all the stories everyone shared with me. I knew she could be sassy and stubborn and very direct on occasions. And I knew that she loved to have fun, dancing in her chair with Keisha while she was spending time at Mark and Amy's house, and something with toilet paper and pictures, whatever that was. But every memory shared with me and every story, the through line was love. Sue loved everyone, especially her family. She loved to call and talk on the phone and just hear about your day. She loved to come to sporting events for her grandchildren just to watch them cheer. She loved to walk on the property and sing Follow the Yellow Brick Road. She really enjoyed just everything to do with family. And even though Sue's no longer with us, through the love that she shared with us and the memories we all have, we really won't ever be without her. And so even though I didn't get to know Sue directly, through all of you, I really feel like I've known her my whole life. I just want to thank everyone for the opportunity to share all their memories with me and all their stories so that I could get to know Sue. Thank you.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of Sue's family, I just want to thank you all for being here today. We are going to be traveling down to Fife Lake Cemetery for committal prayers and burial for Sue. So we will not be traveling in a formal procession today. So if you want, we're going to kind of caravan down. But if you are not going to the cemetery with us today, you're more than welcome to head to the South Boardman Senior Center, where a lunch is going to be held in her honor. And you can continue to share those great stories and great memories that I know you all have. And I'm sure they'll include lots of laughter. I've enjoyed all the stories today. So thank you guys all for being here. We're going to hear another song as we dismiss. But if you're going to head to the cemetery, feel free to come up, say your final goodbyes to Sue, and then step to your vehicles, and we'll be heading to the cemetery shortly. So again, thank you all for being here. We'll begin dismissing from the rear of the chapel. Thank you.
Just yesterday morning, they let me know you were gone. Suzanne, the plans they made put an end to you. I walked out this morning and I wrote down this song. I just can't remember who to send it to. I've seen fire and I've seen rain. I've seen sunny days that I thought would never end. I've seen lonely times when I could not find a friend. But I always thought that I'd see you again. Won't you look down upon me, Jesus? You gotta help me make a stand. You just got to see me through another day. My body's aching and my time is at hand. I won't make it any other way. Whoa, I've seen fire and I've seen rain. Seen sunny days that I thought would never end. I've seen lonely times when I could not find a friend. But I always thought that I'd see you again. Been walking my mind to an easy time, my back turned towards the sun. Lord knows when the cold wind blows, it'll turn your head around. Well, there's hours of time on the telephone line to talk about things to come. Sweet dreams and flying machines in pieces on the ground. Oh, I've seen fire and I've seen rain. I've seen sunny days that I thought would never end. I've seen lonely times when I could not find a friend. But I always thought that I'd see you, baby, one more time again. Thought I'd see you one more time again. There's just a few things coming my way this time around now. Thought I'd see you, thought I'd see you finally right, you can say
I heard of once in a lullaby. Somewhere over the rainbow, skies are blue, and the dreams that you dare to dream really do come true. Someday I'll wish upon a star and wake up where the clouds are far behind me, where troubles melt like lemon drops away above the chimney tops. That's where you'll find me. Somewhere over the rainbow, bluebirds fly. Birds fly over the rainbow. Why then, oh why can't I? If happy little bluebirds fly beyond the